Good morning. It's been kind of an eventful week, so I just want to do like a quick garden update, little tour that kind of shows everything that happened. The big thing that happened is we had a pretty bad storm that came in, and I'm going to add in some footage from that storm right here. It's just a quick little clip of all of the damage that we had, and then this is 4 or 5 days later where it's all cleaned up and things are getting back to normal. So I'm going to put that footage here. Well, here's the aftermath of a storm last night. Holy jumping. Look at the giant. Oh my gosh, look at that one. Wow. Check out the flower pot back here. Hi, little squirrel. Are you okay? Yeah, you're safe. Wow. Oh, the storm damage is just breaking my heart this morning. Like, the corn is broken off from here. There's more. It wasn't just that one. They're all broken. I'm sure they're dead. And all of these lilies, this is supposed to be really tall. They're all knocked down. Like castor bean over there is knocked down. And then when you come over here, it doesn't at first glance look too bad. You can see this is all knocked over, but like these sunflowers are half gone. There's one broken off right in there. These are knocked over. I think I can stake those, but look at this. This is all just devastated. These flowers are knocked over and broken, and it's gonna be a lot of cleanup in here. I don't know how much of it's gonna this isn't that big of a deal. It was really cool though. I think it's just heavy from having so much water in it, so hopefully it'll recover. It does look like the tomato wall, oh my, I knocked over the hose, handled it pretty well. But it's hard. It's always sad when the garden gets wrecked in a storm. Wow, look at these peppers. Just got knocked down. So now, here's the update. And some of the work that we've gotten done out over here that I'm hoping will make a big difference. So we had, as you could see in there was just a lot of broken plants and things were knocked over. Everything is perked back up now. You can see, actually, the very first thing that I look at is this pepper still needs to be maybe staked back a little bit. I'm going to put like a cage around it or something to keep it from flopping forward, but it is really starting to flower in underneath there and hopefully starting to grow some little fruits under there. So that's the ahi dulce pepper. And then what we did, as you can see, the ground is all black over here in the garden area, is yesterday we came through and we tilled just a very shallow. We shallowly broke up the surface of the soil. We put down grass seed, and then we took sifted compost and we covered the grass seed with sifted compost. So that's what you're looking at. That's why it's so dark over here, is we put down compost to hopefully grow some grass in between here. If this isn't successful, we did look into buying some sod, but we're hoping to not have to do that, that we'll be able to grow the grass over here. I know that it's going to be a challenge because I walk over here a lot, and so it'll probably take a couple of rounds to get it done, but we look forward to it. So it looks really nice actually with the dark right now, but that's all right. This first garden bed is actually one of the big changes that happened. This is where there was brassicas in here. There was a couple of borage plants. The borage got broken and the brassicas were done, and it was just terribleness. So I replanted this, and for the first time ever, I am going to do fall peas. So these are two different varieties of peas that are coming up. I'll try to put that up on the screen. I don't remember what they are. And then I have another thing of radishes here that's coming up. So just kind of another fall round of radishes. I did have some sunflowers that I put back there, and the stupid squirrels came in and ate those seedlings. I just don't understand. It drives me crazy, but that's okay. We'll get there. This looks like this is probably a volunteer borage, and I might let it come up. That might be okay to have another borage there. They get huge, but we could always trim it back a little bit. Some of these peppers were the ones that were really, really broken. You can just see some of these are still hanging down. Same with this one. Really, really took a beating. But it'll make a comeback, and it'll hopefully grow some more fruits on it. There's a couple little ones down there right now. These sunflowers, we're going to try to get around to the front and show how beautiful they are. They have bloomed since the storm. One of them did get knocked down. And, but I do think that the reason that one got knocked down, and I kind of left the stake here because it seemed like it was disrupting the soil for everything if I tried to pull it out, but you can see that it had damage. I think it had a vine borer in it, and that made the stalk weak. So, lesson learned there, that it probably would have withstood the storm if it didn't have this stupid bug in it causing problems. Over here, we are getting real close to some giant tomatoes. We can come in here and just see how many tomatoes there are. Slicing tomatoes all over the place, little cherry tomatoes groups all over the place. I'm getting a lot of cherry tomatoes harvested, so that's really, really great to finally see. I'll put a little picture in the screen here of the cherry tomatoes that I harvested yesterday, and the peppers. Like, it was a really good one. I do have one broccoli left, which I'm not sure if I'm going to take this whole plant down when I harvest this very soon. Look at how happy that is. But I might leave it to see if I can get some side shoot broccolis to come in. I love broccoli, so it might be worth that experiment. Yeah, but it's just beautiful over here. Again, the sunflower's recovered now. This is just the epic eggplant is so funny to me. It was a tiny stick with one leaf on it. It was so almost dead. And to see it now just makes my heart so happy. I think it even, if you come over here somewhere, there was a flower. No, I can't find the flower anymore. But anyways, I'm very happy with my eggplant plant. I fertilized him yesterday, so hopefully he'll start growing some flowers soon. And we'll get at least one eggplant out of it. The carrots are carroting. They're doing really well down in there. They're probably ready to come out. I've been getting a lot of ground cherries. You can see the little paper ones when they're ready. The little paper ones, when they're ready, they turn white. They go from being green to white, and then that's when they're ready. So I bet this one, if you just barely touch it, it falls down, and then it goes down with those, and I come and collect them. The garden failure, which we always have to show those, are, ironically, it's the onions that I grew from starts, or like the pack things. They just look terrible, and they're not doing anything. I mean, that's not gonna grow anymore. So, I mean, I can certainly collect those, but that was a failure. So I don't know why. Over here, this is Dumb and a Jungle, and it's hilarious. There are so many plants in this one garden that are enormous. I don't know what to do about it, and that's fine. There's some cucumbers. As you can see, there's a cucumber in the front here, and there's a poor little tomato plant that volunteered that's coming up over here. And then in the back, there's a wall of cucumbers that's starting to grow cucumbers. I had my first cucumber, silver slicer cucumber. You can see one right here. So they don't have green skin. They have kind of like a white, yellowish white skin. They're really good. They don't even need to be peeled because their skin is just so tender. You can see here's the, oh, I thought this was, see, I don't even know what I've got going on anymore because I thought this was the squash. This is clearly a little cucumber. Look at its tiny little, if it'll zoom in on it. Look at this little tiny baby cucumber is just so precious. Like even baby plants are super cute, right? So yeah, I don't know. I thought that was the squash, but back there, you can see through there is that big yellow flower. That's the squash plant growing. So that's some of those big leaves that are sort of taking over the beans as they go. And then here's the bumblebees. They're so precious. Up in here, the tomato, I mean, again, the tomatoes are just thick and we don't need to go through that because I'm going to put the tomato video out soon, but you can see up in there. I think that up in here, I think that's starting to blush. I think it is starting to blush. That's my first slicer that's blushing. That's a Berkeley tie-dye. There's one totally blushed up here. I wonder if it's damaged, if that's why that one's... Okay, I have to come and pick these this morning. But to show these sunflowers have just turned out gorgeous. I love them. These ones are the Pro Cut sunflowers. I think these seeds are from Haas Seeds, but you can get those seeds from almost anywhere. They're pollen, no, is that right? Yeah, they're a pollen-free sunflower. So they still have nectar. That's why the bees are in them, but they don't poof pollen all over the house. So these wouldn't collect. I don't believe that these would have seeds that would be viable to replant, but that's okay. I love their black centers. I just think that is so traditionally cool for a sunflower, and I love it. Over here are the black oil sunflower seeds that are starting to die back. The goldfinches really get into them. You can see the one on the left side there. The goldfinch took all the petals off of it and he's been coming after these, but the bees are still in there. Really, really happy plant. I just love how simple it is. This is some of the damage from the storm, is that I've only got 2 corn stalks that are still upright. The rest of them are broken and fallen over. You can see, like, yeah, that just fell out of there when I touched it. So that center is broken, and I'm sure that ruins the plant. That's where the tasseling would have come from, and I should probably just cut it out of there, but I haven't done it yet. I wanted a little bit, this was really my reason to do this video, is I wanted to show the tiger lilies when they are kind of in full bloom. It's just orange. The whole garden is just bright orange and beautiful, and the bees and the butterflies just love it. It's so fun to see all of it growing, and the storm did knock a bunch of them over, and so they aren't normally this floppy, but that's okay. They got flopped over by the storm. Those ones I staked back up to kind of get them back off the ground, but and then over here too, the castor beans are really, really taking off. And so again, we can see the different varieties of them and the different sizes that they are. This one is always huge. It's got huge, big leaves. The red one will be a little bit smaller and not quite as crazy. I believe that one looks like it's kind of a red one too. If we step in here and, oh, my headphones hooked on. If we step in here and look at this, here's the flowers of the castor beans. And I think that's just gorgeous too. I'm going to be honest, I'll probably pick that off to try and encourage it to grow a little taller before I let it flower, but it's still just gorgeous. And these, I have never gotten these giant marigolds to grow as well as they are this year. They're actually kind of dwarfing in here. You can see these leaves in here. That's a dahlia that's kind of getting dwarfed by them. And I don't know, I'm kind of letting the jungle be the jungle. I will show you. I will show you over here where the dahlias are not getting dwarfed quite so much, that they are starting to bloom, and they are gorgeous. This camera does not do justice for how beautiful this color is. It glows and it's deep and it's just beautiful. This one's just opening. So it's really great to see the dahlias opening, and that this is a good garden for dahlias to grow. I might do more of them next year. Same with this over here is just getting stunning. I just love that deep, dark color in the garden. It's just one of my favorites. Over here in the water feature, I set a couple of the broken sunflowers. Now this sunflower was not open at all. It was still very much closed when it got cut down over there, or knocked down over there. So I was able to, cut off the base and put it in the water over here and have it continue to open. So that's really great to see. Another thing that I noticed yesterday is that the hops are starting to flower. So we're starting to get those beautiful hops that hang from this enormous plant. So I just love to see it. And back here, you could see in that video that back here was a mess, that there were branches and trees and damage all over the place, and it's kind of calmed down, right? This is where one of those huge branches came and knocked this stuff down, but that's fine. That'll recover just fine. Another thing, I replanted my beans back here. I'm not sure if I talked about that in a previous video, but this is just over a week of growth. I'll put it on the screen when I planted this, how long it's been. But so we really are going to get a second round of green beans, which is really fun to see. And the cucumbers are coming up down there. They have a whole lot more room to grow than they did last time, so hopefully that keeps going. Some of the little bit of damage was to these trellises that the cucamelons are on. So you can see that one's broken, and I don't know what we're going to do about it. I think we're talking about redoing this and rebuilding it somehow. Maybe doing something similar to this over here and having the cucamelons climb on that. So we might just do it a little different, but that's okay. I am getting a few cucamelons too. There's, of course, none that I can see while I'm standing here. They're very elusive in the plants. They're always hard to see. You step away and then you see a whole bunch of them once you look at the plant. But anyways, yeah, the cucamelons are really, really happy this year. Again, I wish I had been able to plant more plants, because obviously the more plants you get, the thicker it gets. But yeah, do we have something eating cucamelons? I know there were some here yesterday afternoon. There's one. See, it's just, they're very camouflage for the, boink. He's a perfect size cucamelon. Here's the aftermath. We took the chainsaw out yesterday and cut this up, and we need to have a fire and have a little bonfire and burn up the big branches that fell. It's funny, all these branches fall, and you just think, oh my gosh, there must be nothing left of that tree. But that tree, it was nothing to the tree. The tree still has tons and tons of branches on it. This really got it. This had a giant branch, a really thick branch right through it, so you can see the side of the flower pot's all broken out. And this poor plant really took a beating, and it's all flopped over there. I'm just gonna leave it. It's fine. It'll grow back, or it won't. It's fine. It's August. It's almost fall, so this garden didn't have too much damage. So that's great to see. You can see that the clematis is climbing. this is my new clematis that is, I'm really excited. I hope that it does what it's supposed to do and grows. So it does look like it is. The morning glory is back there, still no morning flowers. So that's okay. The one last thing that I want to show is the butterfly house or the caterpillar house. So it's been a very busy week in the caterpillar house. And I will show you what all we have going on. We have, I believe, 9 chrysalises that are up already. So we've got one in the doorway here, 2 hanging there. Yeah, I taped the leaf because this caterpillar was trying to eat the leaf. So this is my one big one that I have left. He's not happy with me right now because I just picked him off that leaf to get him off of there, or he would have eaten the leaf and let the chrysalis fall. So, I mean, he's not trying to be mean. He's just, a thoughtless caterpillar. But then here's the rest of the chrysalises that are up here for now. So that's 9 of them. There are still a couple of little ones. I think that there might be a medium. I don't know. Well, I know that there's kind of a tiny little one in this jar that needs to move up. And you'll see I have some dill in here. And the reason for that is I found a swallowtail caterpillar yesterday. And that guy is tiny. I don't know where to find him. I want to find him, but oh, he's right here. And he's got a bug around him. I'm going to get this bug off of him. Okay. So, the swallowtail caterpillar that I found yesterday, if you can see him, I'm going to try to... So this is how tiny they are when they're first born. Like, he just hatched out, and this is how big he is. He'll go through and he'll eat some of this still, and then he'll turn into one that's, almost as big as your pinky finger before he goes and makes his chrysalis. But I'm so impressed that I spotted him because he's smaller than a grain of rice right now, and I wouldn't have thought that I would have been able to see him. So I'm excited to get some video of him too. I'm going to kind of document on here because it might be helpful to me later. This one does not look healthy. That one's yellow. Oh, I've got a couple unhealthy ones. That sucks. So you can see this one is really healthy, but this one has that icky brown, and like his chrysalis isn't the right shape. He's not going to come out. He had some kind of parasite or something that got into the caterpillar, which is one of the reasons that you want to get them in the caterpillar house as soon as possible, because you want to try to prevent any kind of parasitic wasps or, illnesses to get on them. But it does look like I didn't get them in here quick enough. And there were a couple that were kind of big by the time I got them in here. So that must be what happened. I mean, it's natural, but it sucks because we want every monarch that we can get. So I think that's it for this garden update. I mean, it's still just doing really well and, exceeding my expectations for the year for sure. This is one of the most beautiful gardens that I've had in a long time, and I'm really proud of it. So thank you for watching, and happy gardening.